want you guys to know the influence that you have on people and what you mean to people in life. For me, I started out at a place called, I went to school in DC, St. John's College High School, and then I went on to a prep school because all I wanted to do was play big time college football. So I went to a place called Fort Keenan Military Academy. Was there under a guy named John Schumann. Anybody interacted or worked with them from Fort Keenan? Nicknamed Inhuman Schumann. Fort Keenan is the kind of place you get sent to build character. Right? So I built plenty of that at Fort Keenan, and then I was ready for my next step, which meant going to the University of Maryland, where all I wanted to do again was just play big time college football. So I was lucky to have a guy there named Dwight Galt. Dwight was the head strength coach at Maryland for probably 20 some odd years. Recently left with Coach Franklin and went down to Vanderbilt. But I remember the influence that he had on me of just teaching me about the important lessons in life. Of teaching me about teams, because you can talk about your coaches, and I'll be honest with you, I went into Maryland under a guy named Joe Krivak. While I was there, a guy named Mark Duffner took over, and the one consistent rock in my life was Dwight Galt, who probably taught me more about life than anything else. The ideas of commitment, the ideas of hard work, the ideas of teamwork, all those principles, all those characteristics, the idea of doing what you say you're going to do, being there on time, having a workout, and getting it are all the elements that really helped me frame building Under Armour. It was in fact, the one thing was certain when I was playing college football is that I sure as heck wasn't going to play pro football. So Dwight was one of the guys who helped me realize that in a very positive way. So it was positive reinforcement. You can do whatever you want, but it's not looking good, Blake. So you should try doing something else, but not until you're done with my workout. He was always very clear. So we had a great relationship, and then, my senior year of school, I finished playing in the fall of '95. Was my last year playing at Maryland, and I had one semester left, and I spent that spring refining and getting Under Armour running. And it was interesting starting a business right out of school, and more importantly, right off of a team, right off of that team environment. Because in doing that, it taught me the foundation of what my company and the principles and the culture and the people, and most importantly, the attitude that we would keep as a company. And because all I knew, I didn't have 10 years in another business or running or coming from another company. All I knew was being a part of a team sport. For me, it was American football. And what that meant was that I implemented those same elements into my company. And whether it was themes, whether it was depth charts, whether it was the attitude. I mean, I treated my company for a long time where, sales and marketing are like offense. Manufacturing and distribution are like defense. Finance and IT are like the special teams. Right? And the teams that typically win the best are the ones that communicate the best. And what I found over time is that unlike American football, where one team takes the field and offense out there and then defense out there and special teams, it was more like European football, where everybody's on the field at the same time. And it's about how we would communicate with each other. And so it's one of the most important elements that I use even today in my company. I've grown from that first year of starting the company in 1996. We did $17,000 in revenues. All the way till this year, our projections over $2.2 billion. So from myself, my first partner, a guy named Kip Falks, where I was a football player at Maryland, he was a lacrosse player at Maryland, to more than 6,000 teammates that we have today, another 150,000 people that we employ in factories making our gear, the best gear in the world, all over the world. So that roadmap is something which the foundation is something I've always leaned on. So in my office, much like a college coach or an NFL coach, I keep my boards, my whiteboards. And they're not electronic today, they're still very simple. I got black Sharpies and I just write on those whiteboards. And I've got them 3 panels across, 5 panels deep. And I do keep a depth chart on one with little magnets and sliding people around, moving them, who's moving up my depth chart, who's moving down my depth chart, who's moving off my depth chart. Then you get okay again, you move back on the depth chart. Well, we all go through those things, right? But in the middle, the majority of it, I just keep these sayings, these things that come to me that I think are really defining of our company. And lots of times there'll be slogans and campaigns that we'll have, or we've got one out right now, it's called Ready for August, right? Which is an idea that we have in our latest football campaign. It's called Ready for August. Not ready for the season, but ready by the time you show up at camp. So guys are ready to go. You're not using camp as a place to get in shape or get ready, but I'm ready for August. Like, they say things like, dictate the tempo, walk with a purpose, overpromise and deliver. All these kind of attitudinal things that define our company, which is this find a way mentality. Everything we do is about implementing that find a way mentality. Like, what are you going to do? What's the impact that you have on your company? What's the impact that you have on our business? What's the impact you have on your division? And most importantly, what's the impact that you have on the people around you? The constant message I have, whether it's with our own team or frankly with our athletes. You know, whether it's guys with all the talent in the world, like, you know, Brandon Jennings, one of our great NBA players who Nate Costa trains, as well as Cam Newton, is another one of Nate's athletes. And you got these guys that are constantly focused on being the best. And you take a guy like Cam Newton, that he's probably the most physically talented, probably most properly positioned athlete in the NFL today. But he's only as good as he makes those other 10 guys on the field. And more importantly, he's only as good as he makes those other 52 guys in that locker room. And I think that message for your guys, for your players, because I know it's one of the things that I'm going through right now. And over the last 17, 18 years, I have all these different themes and theories about how we're going to run the company, what we should do. But the one thing, I guess, of 18 years of hopefully wisdom underneath my belt, that's for certain, is that the best that I can be is as good as I can impact those around me. Right? That attitude, that culture. And it's my job, just like it's your job, and your weight, and your team. It's your job, just like Dwight Galt did for us. You set that tone. You set that expectation. Because these kids are 17, 18, 19, they don't know. They're looking for leadership. And they think they know. But it's our job to make sure that we influence them. Not just because they work for us, because we're in charge, or because we're the boss, because they believe in us. And because what we want and what we truly believe is what's best for them. And that's it, that attitude of caring. Where I can't just sit there and say, you work for me. You know why? Because I'm your boss and I sign your paycheck. Nah, 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 nah. Like, it's tough out there, no question, but it's also competitive. Where you're best, they can go anywhere they want to go. So the environment that I want to create is one that's a welcoming environment, and it's one that lets people know that I care about them, that I care about their development, and if I'm doing my job right, it means that they've got a chance to do whatever they want to do, whatever goal that they have in life. You know, those boards have got lots of things on them, and you know, one of the themes that I drive home a lot is I wrote this one theme one time. I wrote done, 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 and somebody's like, oh, what is done, done, done? It's because there's a difference, right? The difference is when someone asks you and they say, hey, did you get your lift in today? Somebody goes, yeah, I got it done, and you go, really? No. I asked you, did you get your lift in today? Did you get it done? They say, well, yeah, you know, I got it, yeah, I got it done. No. I'm asking you again, did you get it done? And whether it's a job, whether it's a task, whether it's a lift, right? Whether it's lifting a teammate, whether it's just pure effort. There's a difference between done and done. Ladies and gentlemen, that's all I got to say. I got to know, let's go get it. Thank you.
Honestly, I've met Kevin a bunch of times, to be very honest with you, and he's like that all the time. If you get a chance to be around him, shake his hand, high five, and do that type of thing, he's very approachable, really good dude, very genuinely honest about that.